Hello everybody. So I am on here now. I'm going to share a video. Now I pride myself in thinking that everyone can vote how they want to vote. Our ancestors marched for this right, prayed for this right for us to vote. Women, African Americans. And I always pride myself also on not stating how someone can vote. I feel that it is your right, your choice to vote how you want to vote, whether that be Democrat or whether that be Republican. Where I do have a problem at is human decency. The video I'm going to share now speaks about the Republican plan and how to eradicate the Affordable Care Act, ObamaCare. Whenever I have discussions with Republicans or anyone for that matter, and we don't agree on certain policies, and that's life, that's society, that's the American way. We're all going to have an opinion. But where's enough? We already have to have babies regardless. With the plan that the Republicans are trying to implement if they are elected in the coming election, they're going to eradicate Obamacare. Pre-existing conditions as of right now is not something that will not get you insured. And pre-existing conditions not being a factor insures so many people that would not be insurable if that wasn't there. I love what I do, and I love working with my community, and I love just helping people. And when you consistently help people that have cancer or have asthma or have any type of pre-existing condition that they were born with, they can't help that. So if the Republicans remove that, what's going to happen to them going forward? I had to share this video because the words that she speaks is so truthful. It is always going to be up to you how you vote. But at what point is enough enough? At what point? When will people start voting that align with your values? I thought, as always, I Am Political Girl speaks so well and so truthful, and I myself am grateful for her. But when will enough be enough? Check this video out. Y'all have a good one. Take care.
We have to talk about the seriousness of Donald Trump and the Republican Party promising to repeal the Affordable Care Act should they regain power in 2024. First of all, this isn't just bluster. This is something we have to take incredibly seriously because the Republican Party, in all of its iterations, has already tried to repeal the ACA at least 70 times. Not repeal and replace, not put something better in its place, just get rid of it. They have no alternative to what they call Obamacare. They just want it gone. And I want to be extremely clear about what will go with it should they be given the power to do so. Without the Affordable Care Act, children would no longer be allowed to stay on their parents' insurance until they're 26, and would most likely have to find their own insurance once they turned 18. There would no longer be protections for people with pre-existing conditions. So if you've ever had cancer or diabetes or MS or lupus or arthritis or kidney problems, or according to most insurance companies, if you've ever been pregnant or have asthma, then you can now be denied insurance coverage. Without the ACA to protect us, insurance companies can also bring back lifetime caps. So if you get a serious illness or you get sick as a child, or say you were born with a health condition, you will hit that lifetime cap pretty fast and suddenly find yourself uninsurable in America. The ACA allows us to compare insurance options to see which plan works best for us. It gives us the right to appeal our coverage or claim determinations, so we can't just be denied treatment without any recourse to fight back. The ACA includes rules to stop insurance companies from denying our medical payments simply because they went back and found some technical mistake on our original application. That's what insurance companies were doing before. They had people employed with the sole purpose to look for small technical errors in our applications so they could refuse to pay for legitimate claims later. The ACA made that illegal. Just like the ACA made it illegal for insurance to put a cap on things like hospital stays. Because the last thing you need when you're in the hospital is to worry that they're going to kick you out because your insurance says you've been there too many days. Under the Affordable Care Act, American citizens are protected from the very worst instincts of insurance companies. The ACA expanded coverage to people who wanted to retire, but weren't yet eligible for Medicare. It increased payments to rural healthcare providers to help them keep their doors open in their communities. It protects seniors from coverage gaps and provides them free preventative care. It prohibits the discrimination against patients due to their gender or health status. It has provisions to help the poor, the middle class, small businesses. It expanded access to Medicaid for people in poverty. The list just goes on and on and on. Is it enough? No. Should Americans be paying the most in the world for our still deeply problematic healthcare system? Also, no. But the ACA has made it infinitely better than it was. And instead of saying yes and to try and make it even better for the citizens of this country, the Republican Party is actively campaigning to make it worse. What Donald Trump and the Republican Party are proposing would sign my death warrant. It's not just that I would have to pay out of pocket, it's that I would be unable to pay out of pocket. One of my 15 medications costs $130,000 every 3 months. One medication. And I take 15. We pay a fortune for insurance and out-of-pocket costs, but without insurance, I wouldn't last 1 year. I would bankrupt my family and still die. Not because the medical community couldn't keep me alive, but because the insurance company deemed my life unprofitable. And I'm far from alone as a sick person in America. So I want to be incredibly clear that the Republican Party's plan, Donald Trump's plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act, will literally kill millions of us. Not because this country hasn't made tremendous medical advances, but because we simply won't be able to afford to keep ourselves alive. To be clear, the same party that wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act wants to force women to be pregnant. This is the same group of people who are currently insisting women stay pregnant against the advice of their doctors and would risk our infertility and our lives to comply to their will. Current laws in this country have women suffering from treatable pregnancy complications, but with the repeal of the ACA, the very act of being pregnant itself might also make a woman unqualified for future health insurance. The entire thing is outrageous and should feel completely unacceptable to you. The bottom line is the vast majority of Americans support the Affordable Care Act and don't want it repealed. And just so you know, a lot of us with pre-existing conditions already don't qualify for life insurance. So under the Republican plan, we also wouldn't qualify for health insurance. So we have one party in America telling us that our deaths are simply the cost of doing business and our family can't even profit from it. This alone should be the single issue people vote for. It's not partisan to want to stay alive. It's not partisan to not want to go bankrupt for the bad luck of getting sick. People are denied health coverage all the time in this country. But without the protections of the Affordable Care Act, it will only get worse. This is what the Republican Party is promising. And you have to decide if voting for that is worth it to you. Ask yourself what issue is fundamentally more important to you than your life and the life of your loved ones. Because one party is protecting and shoring up healthcare, and you have to decide which side you're on.